You're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. We are back after a bit of a hiatus, but yeah, it's the end of the season, isn't it? You know, we are now down to the very much the crunch games, and everybody all sort of vying for that home quarterfinal, that home semi-final potentially as well on the line for a couple of teams this weekend, and for three of the South African teams, also the final opportunity to put some finishing touches in terms of the way they play. As we head into sort of the URC playoffs, the URC quarterfinals, and sort of before we sort of can crown our first ever URC champion actually in a couple of weeks' time. So it's all getting quite excited. But tonight we are looking at Ulster versus the Sharks. Now, if we look at the permutations for this game, it is quite a big one. Probably the second biggest game in terms of log standings this weekend. Obviously, Leinster taking on Munster tomorrow being the biggest. But Ulster currently sit in fifth place. Now, they are playing to try and get themselves into that top four. A win would take them into the top four. So they're basically playing tonight for a home quarterfinal, which is obviously a massive thing. You know, if they were to lose this game, for example, if the log was to stay as it is, Ulster currently flying down to South Africa to play against the Stormers. Whereas if they were to win this game, for example, then all of a sudden they keep taking on the Stormers or the Sharks, probably more likely the Sharks, probably back here in a couple of weeks' time. So there's quite a lot to play for. And I think that the Sharks side, again, as I said, it sounds harsh. I said in my preview, we're still waiting for them to really click onto it. We're really waiting for them to put all that star power into a big performance where it just looks like the side that they've assembled, because the talent in the Sharks side is disgusting in terms of how much talent there is. But we're still sort of sitting there feeling that we're not quite seeing them play to the ability they can. And as I said, it does sound very harsh because they have only lost 5 games and they've won 11 games, stuff like that. But you know, I think that there are gears, and I think that the Sharks currently are stuck in second gear. I think there's a third, fourth, and even a fifth gear they need to try and find. And if they can find it, I don't see why they can't challenge the likes of a Leinster. But yeah, it all comes down to who pitches up on the night, isn't it? But yeah, just trying to make sure my TV and stuff is working. Good evening, Tion. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a very long week, actually. So yeah, I was working all day today. Then I had to run across to have a quick cricket practice before the rain, and then obviously back here. And we are live up until about 10:30. So it's going to be a bit of a late evening. So I hope everybody else had a good week and have an opportunity now to sort of wind down. Yeah, what are we thinking for this game? Yeah, how are we feeling about this game? Are we backing the Sharks to do the job? Are we backing Ulster? You know, Ulster obviously being at home are the favourites, but I think the Sharks side's good enough. And we're going to go to the Ulster side as well, because it is a very good Ulster side. I think it should just be a great game. I think a couple of very nice matchups, for example, you know, Kern Bosch versus Billy Burns. For me, the big one's obviously Dwayne Vermeulen versus Pepsi Buthelezi. I think you're looking at incumbent Springbok number 8, potential future Springbok number 8. So there are all those sort of mini battles as well, which makes things quite cool and quite interesting. Nathan Doe coming on the second half, so I'm a big, massive fan of him, so I'm keen to see him play a bit. Where is these sides? So we're looking at the Ulster side. This is how they will line up. So 1 through to 8, Andrew Warwick, Rob Herring, and Tom O'Toole is quite a nice front row, and hopefully they will be able to give that Sharks Springbok front row quite a decent challenge this evening. And then in the second row, we've got Kieran Treadwell and sorry, not Kieran Treadwell on the bench, Ian Henderson and Marcus Rea. And O'Connor rather. Ian Henderson captaining the side, so that's quite a nice. Obviously, he's a very important player for Ulster, British and Irish Lions player. Then Marcus Rea, Nick Timoney, and Dwayne Vermeulen. Nick Timoney's also quite a nice player. And then obviously the big Dwayne. So good for the South African guys to see why Dwayne's operating over there. Nice for him to play against a lot of his ex-Springbok teammates, or current Springbok teammates rather. And then in terms of the backline, it is John Cooney, Billy Burns, Ethan McElroy, Stuart McCloskey, James Hume, Rob Ballycoon, and Mike Lowry. It's a nice backline. I think Billy Burns is one of those players quite mercurial in terms of the way he plays. So, you know, if he really turns up and brings on the heat, he can be a very dangerous player, but he does have a couple of mistakes in him. So in terms of beating Ulster, it's a good idea to try and get under his skin quite early and try and sort of get him off his game. Off the bench for the men from Ireland is John Andrew, Eric O'Sullivan, Gareth Milosinovic, Kieran Treadwell, Matty Rear, Nathan Doak, Stuart Moore, and Rob Little. For the men from Devon, it is your all Springbok front row of Oxenshire, Bongi Benambi, and Thomas Totoy. Thomas Totoy captain the side despite Lekanya making his return this weekend after his Japanese sabbatical. In the second row, it's Ruben van Heerden, Reniel Hugo, and then Sia Khaleesi is vice captain, Henko Fenter, and Pepsi Buthelezi leading that loose trio. Jane Hedgesig is partnering with Kern Bosch, Marcus Olma, Pimpy, Werner Koch, Abel Fassi, your back three, and in the centres, Mario Slow, Lekanya, Mario Slow playing his last couple of games for the Sharks ahead of his proposed move to the Lions, following the likes of Asanela Nahamba up to the Johannesburg, which is one of the few players going that way because at the moment it's very much one-way traffic down to Durban. Unfortunately, we seem to have won a couple of flights for 2-run flights to just send half our bloody squad over there. Vince Tuka confirmed there, Carly Sardi confirmed over there. I'm waiting for Jordan Henderson to be confirmed down there. It just makes so much sense in terms of Sharks needing a fly half, his brother being there, the Lions being shit. Yeah, so unfortunately, I think that could be a bit of a matter of time. But please do smash a like button. Please do jump in the comments. Let me know who you're supporting. Let me know who you're backing. Just services morning from Australia. Currently 4:30 a.m. and getting ready for work. Goodness me, what work do you do that you're getting up at 4:30? Vic says it's going to be a tough match. I hope the weather is not crazy. Obviously, why can't the commentators ever say Imbanambi properly? I don't know. I find like I mean, look, I can't really comment because I don't think I'm sure I butchered many a name. But when you're paid to do this at the top level, there are certain names which really aren't hard. You know, I can understand if an Irish commentator can't say Lizo Koboka, but surely our South African commentator should be like nailing all of these. And Imbanambi is not a particularly hard name to say, is it? Good old bongles. So, yeah, I don't know. I get quite frustrated. The more and more I watch, I find it quite painful. I think that even sometimes the punditry, I find that a lot of these people are being picked on a reputation, and they just don't seem to do their research. And again, you know, I'm never going to put myself in to try and say I'm better than I am, because I'm definitely not. But there are so many people out there that are so much more knowledgeable on what actually goes on and actually watch all the game and stuff like that. That it would be nice to have people who are a bit more informed, and to have people, you know, just rocking up and talking about the game who've maybe watched a couple of games, a handful of games. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day, unfortunately. But it is quite frustrating. I says, yeah, you can butcher a name once, but all season I'm listening to UK commentary, by the way. Yeah, well, I haven't listened to the UK commentary, so maybe I should actually put my VPN on next week and actually listen to some UK commentary. But yeah, I mean, Bongi Imbanambi is not hard. It's Mbonambi. Like it's. I don't think there are any names in the Sharks side which particularly hard. I mean, Oxenshire. I mean, if you're going with Vechekhavaditswe, I could probably understand them butchering that one a little bit. But apart from that, it should all be pretty straightforward. Or Labashane. Jean-Andre Labashane. Or do they go with Labaskachny? I mean, it is pissing down with rain. And flipping cold over here. To be fair, it's pissing down with rain over there as well. There comes Thomas Atoy leading out with the rest of the Sharks. Yeah, I think Oxfordshire wants a little bit more time away from the rain. But I'm glad to see that it is currently raining over there because it's pissing down outside here and it's flipping cold. So if I'm going to be cold and miserable, you guys need to be cold and miserable in the stadium there. What do we think about the names of the jerseys, by the way, on the back? Yay or nay? For me, I think it's a yay, as long as they do it better. I think that it's kind of been rushed and not really thought about. They've kind of got to the halfway through the season and think that's quite a cool idea. I think the execution could probably be a bit better, but I think it's quite a nice idea to have the names in the back of the jerseys. Vic says, random fact, my cousin used to date Bongi back in his broke days at Tux. Now she's still talking about him. She would have stayed with him to hook up with the free jerseys. Yeah, looks. I mean, you know, those are the connections, you know, and people are poor form. I mean, my sister-in-law used to do swimming with Malcolm Marks back in the day. Doesn't speak to him anymore. I mean, like, people, you are ruining my connections here. Says they don't pronounce the B in Mbonambi, so it's annoying. They've been doing it also. in the second B or the first B, because otherwise it's Imonambi. Maybe they do that like that. Imonambi. Or do they go Imbonami? Why are we gathering on the side, yeah? I don't know if we're having an anthem or a moment of silence. I think we're remembering all the players, all of the people who have lost their lives in the last 12 months due to COVID. I had COVID 2 weeks ago, by the way, and I must say it was not fun. Thankfully, I was only down for about 2 days, 3 days, but cheapers, it had me. It had me. Actually pissing down on the pitch. Yeah, no, it doesn't look. It's weird actually because like from a distance, and even when they're looking at the crowd, it looked like a very nice day. The sun was out and looked quite nice. It's actually weird because I mean, there's a rainbow. I mean, it looks gorgeous from that angle, and then you zoom in and it's absolutely peeing down. So again, this is White Knuckle Ride. Here we go. Vic says, yeah, for the names at the back of the jerseys, we need to promote player stardom. It's good for the game. I agree. Mia says, hello, bro. How are you doing? It's Lawrence Sharks. It's going to win tonight. Well, I personally think, I know that a lot of people are backing Ulster, but I think that we need to start seeing the Sharks win these sort of games. If they want to go all the way, if they want to be this big, massive Manchester City, huge stadium team, you got to be winning these games. You really do. But Billy Burns with ball in hand. And there it is. Kick off here. So Billy Burns goes towards the left-hand side. Should be an early touch here right to the sun for Pepsi Buthelezi, but he takes it well. First touch of the day, and he runs into O'Connor. It's quite a nice tackle there, but I was putting a lot of early pressure on, and now Jaden Hendrickson is going to use his boot to get... I mean, that weather looks horrible. It's just weird because it's so sunny. It's so bright, and yet just so wet. Werner Koch chasing hard. Oh, that's a fantastic tackle by Werner Koch. That's a nice way to make your mark. Putting a lot of pressure there on Mike Lowry, but they do recycle it. I think there's a Mullen there, who is his first carry of the day. Also working down the short side. John Cooney just taking his time here, asking for a couple of blockers. He's going to go to the up and under. It's drifting to the side. It's a pretty horrible take by Cohen Bosch. They'll have a scrum here. Oh, a couple of fists down to Werner Koch as well. But obviously, I mean, I went to school with Gareth Anscombe, but hey, we all have players who went to our schools. I definitely do not have any players who went to our schools. I went to a very small private school in the north, in suburbs of Johannesburg, and our rugby team wouldn't be able to beat the Lions and the Nines, I reckon. So I definitely have no famous rugby playing friends from school. Vix also had to go over 2 weeks ago. It wasn't that bad. I wouldn't want to imagine. Yeah, for me, I got it quite bad for like 2 days. Like Thursday, I felt like crap. Friday, I was like completely man down. I was horrendous. Saturday, I just had no energy. Sunday, I was back and working. Monday, I was pretty much okay. Still feeling a little bit of my chest when I run, but it wasn't fun though. It's like a really, really bad flu. Obviously, I like the names at the back of the jersey, especially to go to the game in the USA. You ahead of me on the feed. I'm on the app. Sorry about that. Oh, it's a nice work down the back. There's Nick Timoney goes rearing off the back of that scrum. Pretty solid scrum as well. Maxona Pimpy's come up quickly. Yeah, the numbers. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible pass. Well, the try could have been on there. I mean, I think if that pass is made, I reckon Ulster go on to score that. Maxona Pimpy had gone off his line, which... yeah, it was a poor decision in the end because Fasti then had to come quickly. And if that had just gone up to hand, then that would have been trouble city there for the Sharks. So very lucky to get away with that one. Dominique Bosman says, go Sharks. Right, we have another scrum here. Interesting to see... yeah, I mean, Nick Timoney just tearing off the back there. But I think the scrum battle is going to be quite even. I think it's going to be quite a nice battle. I think there's some good scrummages on both sides. But for me, it's really cool to see. I mean, Sia Khaleesi up against Dwayne Vermeulen. Pepsi Buthelezi obviously opposite him. But a scrum from the forward pass. And if that pass had just got the hand, I think it would have been Travel City. Pretty solid scrum there. Thomas Toy working really hard to try and get the better of his opposite number, but doesn't. Cohen Bosch now bringing up the torpedo towards the right-hand side. And it's turned. McElroy, who goes inside to, I think it's Billy Burns. Was it Lowry? I think it's Lowry who finds touch. And that's not a great touch finder. It's probably about the... But it's a really poor touch finder. Carried back is the call, so all of a sudden it's a try inside the 22. That seems a bit harsh. Ian Henderson having an ask. That was a bad rebound. Pimps. Yeah, no, he was nowhere there. Absolutely nowhere. He kind of found himself in nowhere land. No man's land. I think sort of came up, but didn't even really attempt to make a tackle. All of a sudden, Upland Fassi was left with about half a field going, thanks, mate. Appreciate your work. We're going to cock on the inside, trying to run that angle. Sharks, Dwayne Vermeulen was over than the ball there, and he has won the turnover there. Ball come a bit loose there, so McCloskey's trying to clean up. So turnover ball there, good work by Dwayne Vermeulen at the breakdown. Alright, so the ball is coming out there, so it will be a line out for the Sharks. It wasn't the best clearance, and definitely not out the woods yet or Ulster, but a little bit better than what, because they were looking pretty good at the Sharks. Now they go back towards Ruben van Heerden. It's a nice solid take from him outside. I need to see more of Ruben van Heerden this in the coming season, because I think that he's a potential Springbok player if he can get it right. Anyway, Bongi Manumbi is working hard at the back, but they're not getting much ascendancy, so Hendrickson goes to Morris Lowe. Morris Lowe sees a half gap. That's the gap you're going to see him hitting with the Lions next season. Jaden Henderson, the knee on the ground, goes to Kern Bosch. Kern Bosch, the Kanya inside, sporting new haircut as the Kanya looking for the offload. He does give it away to Upland Fassi, to Werner Koch. Werner Koch comes inside. Oh, jeepers, sit down. He has sat down, McElroy, I think it was. That's a really good line being run there by basically Lazy. Basically good stuff here by the Sharks. That's up towards the halfway line. I mean, the 5-meter mark, rather. Ruben van Heerden well wrapped up there by McCloskey, but still good for momentum here for the Sharks. They're working back towards the short side. Henk Fender just taking into contact, but Nick Timoney is very well placed to have a go, and he does win a penalty on the break down. That's actually really good work by Nick Timoney, because the Sharks had some very good going forward ball there. But unfortunately for Henk Fender, just falling right in front of Nick Timoney, and there's just nobody else coming there to clean up. I mean, where were the support player here? Reniel Hugo goes over, but just doesn't manage to bring Nick Timoney down at all. That's actually almost pretty poor from Reniel Hugo. He was in a bad position, but he's there to take up the man. He never really cleaned him out. Right, so Ulster line on the 10-meter line. It's a very nice take at the back there from Ian Henderson. Unfortunately, the ball has gone straight down. And I think there are a couple of Sharks players who got their hands on it, but they've been told to release. So John Cooney at the back now will go to the boot. Hasn't got a lot of distance on that. In fact, it's spiraling towards the left. Does stay inside, though, and comes back towards Cooney. He's got Lowry. Lowry trying to get on the outside of, I think I'll see a Khaleesi. It's good work by him. He's still going as Lowry. Under a lot of pressure, but that's really good work from him. McCloskey trying to find a bit of space. Almost found a half gap before it was being wrapped up. That's a nice offload, though. Now Billy Burns. A couple of players on the short side. Just need to run the hands. Inside ball there. Ball's coming loose, though. And Thomas Toy, of all people, has gobbled it up. Now look at the leg drive from Thomas Toy. Obviously quite intimidated by the fact that Carlos Sari is coming to try and eat off his bra. I mean, can you imagine trying to cater a Sharks team next season? Goodness me. Anyway, long ball out for Lakanya. Sees a bit of space in behind, so he puts it to the boot for Maxima Pimpy to chase. But Burns is well positioned. Finds a decent clearance. It'll go out just by the halfway line, so he'll take that. Just slow the things down a bit. Obviously, how that man didn't clear out, and Jonathan go the Sharks. Sun seems to have gone away a bit now, so it looks a bit more overcast. Anyway, Bongos in Nambi, as the UK commentators are saying. Just inside Ulster territory. Goes to Reno Hugo at the front, looking to try and set up another rolling maul. It is obviously quite wet. It looks, I mean, it stopped raining, but it's going to be very wet, so expect to see quite a lot of types playing there. But Andrew Warwick working very hard there, but now Henderson going to the boot. Maxwell Pippy is chasing hard. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible moment by Balakoon. You can't manage to Hank offenders there to pop the ball to Marius Low, down to Sia Khaleesi, to Maxwell Pimpy. And the ball's popped up, but Henko Fenter's managed to jump on, and he's eventually been bundled out. I'm not quite sure what happened there. The ball was popping out everywhere. The call is a knock-on against the Sharks. Now, I thought they almost had a 3-on-1 advantage there. They shouldn't have a lot of space here, but it's a horrible misread by Balakoon before he's smashed by Mapimpi. Henko Fenter's done really well as a support player. Now, Marius Low goes to Ruben Heerden. That's a really good... Well, it's good hands inside by Khaleesi, but it was a really good tackle there by Lowry, because he basically said if you are taking that ball, you're not going to get a try there. So it's done pretty well there off the loose ball for Ulster to defend that. But pretty much one-way traffic here. Ulster can't really get outside their half. You happy the USA got hosting rights for the Rugby World Cup 2020? No, I'm not. I'm going to be literally I'm going to be in my 40s the next time we might actually host a World Cup. In my 40s. That's my reality at the moment. So, yeah, I should be saving up to travel South Africa next year in the World Cup. And now the earliest I can go is like 2035. So, no, I'm not happy. Oh, that's a really good offload, yeah. Very isolated there is James Hume. Needs a bit of support. And it is turned over. And that's, yeah, I mean, the first time Ulster managed to sort of make any sort of break, and it's quickly turned over. Now Hendrickson chip the ball over the top for Aprile Fassi. But offside, I was about to say he was so far in front. There was no ways he was ever onside. Good line out there for Ulster from the penalty. That's a really good break from McCloskey as well. He's brought down by Oxenchair just shy of the 22. Quick ball there from Cooney. Inside ball. That's a really good ball from Billy Burns. It wasn't a great pass to him. Now Cooney to Burns. Puts in the kick pass. Kick in the behind. McElroy gets it inside. And foot was in touch. Almost really, really good work there on McElroy to just throw it inside. But his foot was in touch, so it will be a 5-meter line out. But that was quite threatening there from Ulster. Nice little kick in behind from Billy Burns. Yeah, it's just the push there from Aprile Fassi which carries him to touch. You can see his foot was literally going to stay in touch until he gets that little bit of a push from Aprile Fassi, and that just takes him out. But a bit of an early warning. So, oh, that's a bit of a messy line out. It's fallen straight. Pepe Buthelezi managed to jump on the ground, but that was almost a little bit worrying for the Sharks. The ball fell loose right up on that try line. And it's a decent clearance there from Jaden Hendrickson. In fact, it's a very good clearance there from Jaden Hendrickson up towards the 10-meter line. So that's a nice get out of jail there from the Sharks scrum half. That's good work from him. Right, Rob Herring. Probably look to find Ian Henderson. They do go to the number 2 jumper to Henderson. Flat ball to Billy Burns. McCloskey to Hume, I think it was. Sorry, Nick Timoney in the midfield there. Oh, it's almost... Oh, it's a pity. It was almost good handling. Lowry under pressure there from Werner Koch. But they do retain possession. And Don Cooney this time taking a while for Henderson to manage to set up. Slow tackle from him, from Khaleesi and Thomas Toy. Now they're going to the short side. The passing has just been a bit poor. The idea has been right now. Dwayne Vermeulen running inside. Not quite got the pace he's used to. But they are making a bit of progress here, are Ulster. That's a nice line there. Solid carry there by Tom O'Toole as well. Not Curry to Billy Burns. Not much on, so Billy Burns starts to just hack it in behind Curran Bosch. And it'll find touch 22. Not the worst idea, actually, from Billy Burns. It was all a bit disjointed. Not much happening there. So he just decides we'll play a bit of territory and go and put them under a bit of pressure. Bit of a messy line there. Hendrickson gives it flat to Bosch. He gives it to Sia Khaleesi in the midfield. Good to see him doing a bit more ball carrying, but the support play is not brilliant. And Jaden Hendrickson is now suddenly under a lot of pressure as Cheapers. He's just been manhandled. And it's a penalty there for offside against Oxen Chair. Well, Jaden Henderson is not going to want to watch that replay because Ian Henderson is just absolutely manhandled. I mean, he's just picked him up like a rag doll, like taken the ball, or the ball has then gone forward to Oxen Chair, who's in an offside position, and they've now given away a penalty right in front of the poles. And I think this is going to be the first points today. I mean, he gets it wrong, so the referee's in the way, in fact, of Hendrickson. So it would have been interesting there, and you almost feel a bit sorry for Hendrickson, because if Hendrickson had thrown them into the referee, it then would have been a scrum in theory. And he was quite in the ILB. You have to see a front on angle because it looked like he was in the way. But either way, he got caught in the ball, and unfortunately, Ian Henderson, disrespected him really. All right, no issues there whatsoever. And Ulster have the first blood of the game. I mean, it's bang in front from Cooney. And he was never going to have any issues with that, was he? Right, the restart from Curran Bosch. Going towards the left-hand side. Nick Timoney underneath it. It's quite useful having the likes of Nick Timoney and Dwayne Vermeulen. Nick Timoney, being a bit younger, being a bit quicker, being a bit more mobile around the park, but fulfilling a very similar role to an 8th man. Now, Ulster from deep inside there, 22. Cooney goes to the boot. He's not going to find touch. It's going to be competitive. Balaku's done very well to toss that back. And Nick Timoney then tried to sort of basically just batter it away towards one of his players, and unfortunately wasn't touched. It was a really good chase there from Balaku. Oh, that's a bit harsh, actually. He was actually in the field of the play there. That shouldn't be allowed at all. And now says that a penalty or was your side? Yeah, it was. It was because the ball then fell towards Oxenchair, who was in front of Hendrickson. And the Bulls obviously getting underway in about 15 minutes. Their game against The Ospreys. Botalese. Meanwhile, Benetton have scored 10 tries against Cardiff. Goodness me. Henderson going himself, trying to find an inside ball to Mapimpi, but they've given the ball away. So both teams guilty a little bit of not being able to protect possession. Now, kick over the top for Balakoon, who is tearing. He's gone past Mapimpi. He's after Aprile Fassi. He was in touch there, surely. Yeah, that's a horrible mistake from Fassi. And that's all been created just because Balakoon was chasing so hard. That's actually really good work from him. He's chasing hard, The ball goes out. I don't know what Aprile Fassi thought he was doing. I mean, he taps it back whilst he's inside. He then picks it up whilst he's outside. I mean, he was out on both occasions. That's not a good moment from Aprile Fassi whatsoever. And all of a sudden, Ulster are on the attack. What, 15, 18 meters out? Inside the 22 with the line out. They go to Dwayne Vermeulen. Almost juggles it a little bit, but it's well taken down there by Timony. As Ulster try and get a rolling maul going. Rob Herring just controlling at the end. At the back there, Reno Hugo is coming through, but Rob Herring is broken away. That's a huge tackle, however, by Sia Khaleesi with help from his captain, Thomas the Toy. Khaleesi up to try and disrupt it. I've already seen a bit more Khaleesi than we have seen recently, which is good to see. Flat ball there from Hume. Steps to the side of Marius Lowe, but runs into Pepsi Putalese. But he burns, juggles, and gives it away to Werner Koch. It was a horrible pass. And then a double knock on, and will be a Sharks put into the scrum. Billy Birds has been on the receiving. I mean, that wasn't the worst pass. Should have done a lot better than that. Just spills, but he has been on the receiving on some pretty poor passes so far this evening. Werner Koch trying to get the offload away to Bongi Manambi and just spilling it forward. Right, pretty solid scrum there. No tendency from either side. So Hendrickson goes to Curran Bosch. Curran Bosch goes but almost behind Aprile Fassi, whose kick is actually charged down and sort of spills out for a Sharks line out just between the 22 and the 10 meter. Not quite the result that Aprile Fassi wanted. Yeah, just doesn't, just kicks too low. Mommy says no Sharks. Sonny says, damn, look how much home advantage can make a team so much more scary. Well, I think it's been it swings and roundabouts. The first 10 minutes was all Sharks, and now all of a sudden it's been all Ulster since they've sort of settled into the game, and Sharks can't get out their own half. They go to Henko Fenta. It's a good line take down to Hendrickson. Goes to Bosch. Bosch goes to the boot, kicks it down the middle of the park. Gathered by Lowry. He's going on the side. He wants to run, trying to find a bit of space. He runs into a lot of traffic. Now Tom O'Toole trying to carry things up, but also still inside their own half. Now John Cooney shaping up for the box kick. You expect Balakoon to chase this quite hard. Yeah, it will be contestable. Balakoon gets up very high. It's a very good take from Will. I think he brings the ball down. And also got possession, and they've got an advantage as well. So a bit of a free roll of the dice. The McCluskey is quite disjointed in the midfield here. Gets away from Morris Lowe's, eventually brought down by Kanyam. Well, in fact, he's being held up, and they just decided we'll go back and take a penalty. Mark Dunphy says, Bulls aren't as good as I thought. This is the third best team in Ireland. Has that game even started? I thought it only started in like 10 minutes. What's cooking over there, guys? What's cooking? Yeah, what are you on about? Well, the game hasn't started. Fussy started slow. Come on, we need you. Yeah, agreed. He hasn't quite got into the game just yet. Oh, Burns has stepped outside the Kanye and put the kick pass for McElroy. He's managed to field it. He's gotten away from Fussy, inside of Curran Bosch as well. Again, there's an advantage for a high tackle as well. So, good opportunity here for Ulster. And the half pass almost intercepted by Pimpy. Ulster considered third best team in Ireland. But why are we mentioning the Bulls, though? I'm confused. SCTs always make so many dumb mistakes like curse on our teams. I just can't wait until Stormers versus Scarlets. Yeah, it should be quite a cool game tomorrow. And then the Lions versus the Dragons. And I'm keen for that game because there's a lot of young Lions players. Keen to see Henkoff and Bay, keen to see Matt Moore. That centre combination should be quite cool to see. Ruan Fenn is a very exciting player to watch. But this is really, really good work here by Billy Burns. And bang, McElroy does really well to just get away from a Pimpy. Then he steps inside of Werner Koch, spins away from Curran Bosch, and then falls in front of Maxwell Pimpy. Meant the Sharks. Yeah, I wondered about that, Mark. You had me very confused. You had maybe said I hate the ref. Fussy's overrated. I think Hollander's more sensible option for the Block 50 jersey. I think that Fussy's very talented. I do think that I mean Holland's ahead of him every single day of the week. And if you disagree, I just don't think you've watched Holland. Fussy's a very talented player, but I still think there's work to be done in this game. But anyway, Ulster, 5 meters out. They've been told to use it once. Not making any progress here, so Herring's going to have to give this away to Cooney. And they go to McCloskey, who's trying to be held up by Basir. His knee's on the ground, though, referee. That's a bit weird. Herring, so okay from him, but it's well met in the tackle there by Maurice Sloan. I think it was Pesci Boutelez. No, it's the Kanya Nick Timney was a little bit lateral there. Now, that's good with your hands there by Hugh. Oh, ball over the top. And McElroy, sure, he's going to be running this in. Oh, he's come inside. He's giving it away. And it's over. They have scored. Ulster have scored. There's been so much space out on the left-hand side. I don't know why there was so much space. I mean, they threw the long ball over the top towards McElroy, and the ball wasn't great. So by the time that he was sort of running in there, Werner Koch managed to come up, but he just stepped inside and just quick little ball inside as well. But there was so much space. I mean, Werner Koch, the ball over the top from Apele Fassi, Werner Koch does well, but at the step inside and then the ball inside is perfect to Lowry. Well played. It's well played in the end, actually. Not sure if says all I remember from Storms versus Ulster is that the fullback was an absolute beast on the counter attack. Well, if you're talking about the Stormers one, then yeah, very much so. They don't look like our team aren't as good as we thought they were. Only very negative. I mean, it's the first half an hour. First of all, Ulster are a pretty good side, and they're playing at home. So, in many ways, as I said, they were coming in with as the favourites. Yeah. Sharks, unfortunately, are guilty of not taking the opportunities because they had a lot of opportunities in the first sort of 10 minutes to really make it count, but didn't. And all of a sudden, it's opened up a little bit, and Ulster taking advantage. Obviously, Sharks are really disappointing. Yeah, but I get that. I mean, I get that as well. I mean, the Sharks side should be playing better than this. I said they should have been taking those opportunities. They're just not quite gelling. They're not quite clicking yet. A lot of Sharks supporters saying they reckon that a new coach is, oh dear, it's a bit of a stuff-up kick there from Nick Timoney, but the try scorer, Lowry, is there to try and clean up. And a lot of pressure there from the Sharks, but it is available for John Cooney. The home ground advantage in the URC is huge, probably bigger than any other rugby championship, 100%. Talking about the Ulster fullback too is very, very good. I'm trying to remember if it was Lowry. He's a very nice player, is Mike Lowry. A nice player to watch. Not the biggest player in the world, but he's got a nice turn of pace. And he always looks to run as well. Now a couple of phases building here for the Sharks. Which is the current best side in the South Africa URC? I'll probably say the Stormers. I think the Stormers are probably the most all-round side at the moment. Playing the nicest rugby, definitely. Oh, that's a really good take from up here. Fassi, though. All of a sudden, the Sharks are on the attack inside the 22. Hendrickson gives to Mapimpi. They've got numbers. Mapimpi goes himself. Driven back in the tackle as well. Hendrickson goes to Higofenta. Curran Bosch goes to Thomas Toy. Solid leg drive from the captain there. Hendrickson now to Curran Bosch. Curran Bosch gives to Werner Koch. That's a really big tackle by Hume. He shrugs it away, to be fair, but the important thing was to stop the momentum. Now up Fassi down the side, gets away from one, and Hume bundles him into touch as well. So it's good, well defended in the end by Ulster. Not quite sure what Fassi is asking the referee for. It was Mike Lowry. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a nice play. So James Hume is off after this big tackle, yes, on Werner Koch. I'm a bit confused to where does the injury come in here? Or was it the one on Upper Fassi there? Who knows? Either way, he's off. So Ulster now just trying to get the way. Not yet. Says Steve, I really like your videos and the effort you put in. Keep it up, man. Remember, never feel shy to crack a cold one whenever you want. I'm actually on a drinking sabbatical at the moment. I needed a bit of a break from the cold ones. I think far too many cold ones were being consumed in the first couple of months of the year between the cricket season and stuff like that. Oh, it's a really good break there from Up Fassi. Oh, you got to give it away. He pops it up to Lukanya. It's still on for the Sharks. Getting a messy now. Mapimpi backtracking now. Shrugs off a hit from John Cooney, but if Mapimpi had given that away, was an Ulster player down, so they could be falling like flies all of a sudden, but and he's lost that forward as well in contact. Mapimpi. I mean, he had players on either side of him. Oh my goodness. Lowry is just one big ball of blood. I think he's broken a nose here. He's got so many options. That's a really good tackle there by Lowry. Oh, it's the side of his head, I think. What does he hit? He went. I mean, it's good defense by Lowry because he went low and just said, look, technique-wise, maybe I think his head was actually probably in the wrong position. I'm trying to work out what's actually bleeding here. He was clutching his head, but it looks, with all that blood, I'm imagining it's a nose. As someone who has broken their nose, that looks like a broken nose. Is it his mouth? What's bleeding here? I think it could be his mouth, Yeah, Lowry's off for an HIA though. He doesn't look particularly happy. Well, it's a brave tackle and an effective one. Ach, yeah, sorry, it is. You're right. It is fussy. I don't know why I'm saying Pimpy, but yeah, fussy had to let him go. He had players on the left and players on the right, and I think if you popped to either, there would have been try time. Am I right in saying that Verticox from the Western Province? I think I remember him playing for Western Province in the 2017 Curry Cup final. Am I very confused? I think he was. I think he's originally from Nelspruit. If I'm correct, he played for Western Province before he came to the Sharks, but I'm pretty sure he actually is from Nelspruit. I don't know why I want to say that, but yeah, let me try. I'm actually trying to find it. But yeah, he was at Western Province before he went to Sharks. Compultures Royal. See, your commentary is very good. Thank you. If I can get the bloody names right, then that will probably be a start. I don't know why I was saying a Pimpy. It was fussy. He was at fault there. Anyway, good scrum there. But no, Larry, the try scorer is off. Now McCloskey, they're going himself. Now the two replacements linking up. It's Stuart Moore and Rob Little. Stuart Moore in the number 22 jersey. Rob Little in the 23. Oh my living. I mean, really, the overlap they had there. How have you knocked that on, mate? Steve, do you think your stream would be claimed if you stream the volume of the game? Yeah, very much so. I mean, we didn't even stream anything. We tried to do a Super Rugby game on another channel the other day, and it was taken down before we even started. So, yeah, I mean, we're fighting with YouTube over so many different things at the moment. So it would get taken down very quickly if we were to do that, unfortunately. They take down video, they're screening for video footage, they take down for audio, they take down for absolutely anything and everything. Dig a hole for Larry, says me again. Larry is bleeding from all holes. Yeah, that was a big hit. But try saving tackle. So he'll probably take it. But how have they managed to mess up that overlap? Who knows? We go down the short side here, do the Sharks. Pesty Buthelezi. Good tackle there by Balakoon. And Hendricks has just knocked that back. No, about to say. Going back for a penalty for the Sharks. Scrum penalty. That's the first scrum penalty of the day, I think. Let's see what this is for. There's a really nice break here, but so they do go down. Pesty Buthelezi goes down the blind side. So with 6 minutes to go, opportunity to kick towards the corner and try and get some points of their own. Still scoreless here are the Sharks. They're going to go for the 3 points here. I'm not sure there's any wind or anything in the stadium. Bosch will definitely have the distance from here. It's from the left-hand side, probably about 50 meters on the angle. It's got the distance. It's got the direction. No, the flag stayed down. So Bosch has missed that. So 5 minutes to go. Still no points on the board for the Sharks. Albie says Sharks defense doesn't look great. There does seem to be a couple of holes in it. I think we've seen Ulster penetrate their lines a couple of times. I don't think it'll be the last time either. Billy Bird's going very, very high off the restart. Ruben van Heerden is going to get there. It's a nice take out there from him. Percy Buthelezi there with support from Bongi and Banambi. Now Mario Slow going to Lakanya. He's just sat down. Stuart Moore. Here's to now to Ruben van Heerden. Now to Kern Bosch. Kern Bosch giving it to Maurice Lowe, who's wrapping around to Werner Koch, to Sia Khaleesi, who's found himself on the wing. Khaleesi comes inside, wins a few meters. And in trying to counter, work at the breakdown, they turned the ball over, but Ulster have knocked it on, so it has been turned back over towards the Sharks. And they'll go back for the early knock on there. Pretty scrappy piece of play there. I like how in this country we have to pay R1,000 a month just to watch your rugby team play 3 matches. Yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. That's why, you have to watch so much sport in this place, because you have to justify it. So you got to watch everything from tiddlywinks to rugby to lawn bowls to carpet bowls. Mark Duff said, I don't know that much about South African teams, but I'm watching more and more of them and genuinely think they'll be really good next season. I hope so. I think the Lions are going to be playing a bunch of under-21s, but the rest of them will hopefully be quite good. Obviously, I'm sorry, but Henry said that's not on the boys. Hot and attack. You fumble like that. Yeah, it's a coach killer. Listen to Not JVD Culture. There's 93 people watching. There's actually 107 currently. So please, can you smash the like button? Let's see if we can get up to 50 likes. Try and see. Maybe we can get up to 150 people watching. It's been a while since we've done a stream. So, let's try and see if we can help get some momentum. Jonathan says, dig the Fair Sports game check on the stream, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a new feature. Oh, it's a really good line there from Marius Lowe's. Burst through the middle. He's got support there from Werner Koch. Quick ball needed from Hendricks. That does come. Henke Fenter carrying on the shoulder. Lakanya not coming involved, but I think it has been turned over, actually. I think it is none other than Thor. No. It is available for Sharks, so they give it away to Khaleesi. Bit of poor pass room from here and there. Doesn't make a meter or two. Henderson now to Henke Fenter. He's got up there Fassi. He's brought down to the left-hand side. Thomas Satoy now on the inside. Kern Bosch. Ruben van Heerden was on the shoulder there. Good continuity from the Sharks. They're probably going to about their 7th phase. Lakanya not too much on, trying to run a bit of space. He's Lakanya He's drifting towards the left. Eventually brought down Matontu, but he does manage to get the offload away to Thomas Satoy. That's a big tackle by Dwayne Vermeulen. Hendricks popping the ball up. Ruben van Heerden to Papsi. Good hands needed. Henke Fenter down the left-hand side. Ball gets a bit loose there. Pepsi Buthelezi decides to take it into contact, and he's smashed by O'Toole and Ian Henderson. Henderson going to Kern Bosch. Kern Bosch going himself. Probably not the best idea. And slow ball here for Hendricks to Ruben van Heerden, who's carried very well so far this half. He's made a lot of carries, but a little ice there, and Nick Timoney's all over that ball, and that is a terrific penalty from Nick Timoney. That's the second clutch penalty he's won in the breakdown. Sharks breakdown, guilty maybe of not being able to clear the man at the right time, but that's a really good piece of play there. So Ruben van Heerden carries up, Nick Timoney makes the tackle. It's just too slow. It's far too slow. I think it was Hendricks who originally actually tried to make the clean up because there was nobody there. Marius Lowe and Sia Khaleesi too late getting in there. Nick Timoney was in a very good position to make that steal. Notchik says, how does the game tracker work? Is it program or do you manually click where the ball is at? No, so thankfully we've actually got a data provider which does it all for. That's actually why we've got it, because if you guys were here beginning of the year, I used to have to do the score and the timing and stuff like that. It was a disaster. So yeah, this is all automated. It's actually a data provider that we have, which does it all, thankfully. Do you feel the cheetahs should be included in the URC next year? It's me again says, looks like Sharks have some belief here. Needed to capitalize. They needed to score there as we go into the last 10 seconds. Cooney there to Billy Burns. Oh, ball at the top from McCloskey. Bounces before Cooney. There's not too much space out here. But he runs into Mapimpi and I play fast try and he just to rip it, but it does stay inside. Ulster having a last go here. And then John Cooney just decides to kick it out. So half time, it is 10 points for Ulster, 0 for the Sharks. Worthy lead. Sharks had lots of opportunities. They started the first half very well. They finished the first half very well, but they couldn't find the break they needed to try and get some points on the board. So work to do for the men from Durban. In terms of the cheaters in the URC, no, I don't think. I feel very sorry for what happened to them and stuff like that, but I don't think you can expand the URC. I don't think it's fair to start relegating teams after one season and after COVID and stuff like that. It's far too soon for that. We need to find them a competition and an overseas competition for them to play in, no doubt. But I don't see it being in the URC right now. But yeah, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to see if the Sharks can stage a bit of a comeback. They've got 10 points as the deficit. And yeah, I'll be back in a couple minutes for the second half. Don't go away. Please do smash like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. Let's see if we can try and get towards 11,000 subscribers, because we've been desperately trying to get there for the entire year, basically. So yeah, do your bit and let's try and get there. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello and welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And yeah, halftime over in Ireland. And it is 10 points for Ulster and 0 for the Sharks as Ulster come back. As you can see, the win probability currently sitting at 92% in favour of the home side. Frustrating at half for the Sharks. You know, I think that penalty was a bit rough. The one on... where Hendrickson basically couldn't pass the ball because there was a ref and an Ulster player in the way. And then Ian Henderson got his hands all over him. However, I do think Ulster have been the better side. I think that they need to, defensively, I think the Sharks need to try and, I mean, Curran Bosch needs help because they're running through that channel far too easily. McCluskey's having a very good game here, but I think the Sharks just need to be more clinical and stuff like that. A couple of very silly mistakes at some crucial moments has been the difference between the two sides. But I mean, it turns very quickly. One try and the Sharks are right back in it as Curran Bosch does get things underway for the second half. So I take there from Ian Henderson. It's me against his coach. Please slap Hendricks and Vassie at half time. Vic saying 10-0 is not a bad deficit. Well, I mean, they're still very much in the game. But important to score first because Ulster scored converted try, for example, at 17 points looks like a long way away. But yeah, so John Cooney now can't find touch because he's outside 22, so puts it high in the air for Pesi Buthelezi, who takes it nicely out the air and a little bit of pressure there. It's available for Hendricks, so he gives it to Thomas Toy. So okay from him. And slow ball here. Hendricks are going to Curran Bosch. He spots a bit of space on the left-hand side, so he just stabs a kick in there. Balakuna's retreating, does well, gives it inside to Rob Little there, and almost got in the way of Rob Little there. It's not the best clearance at all, so he's found touch about 10 yards outside the 22, so it's not the best touch find he could have found. And this will be an early opportunity for the Sharks on the set piece. Just service there, Sharks either play decent or play cuck. It's never any better or any worse with them. Yeah, I think they're just frustrating because you just keep waiting for them to really click and get the best out of them, but it's just not happening for them at the moment. First line of the half goes to Ruben van Heeren. They are going to try and start rolling more. Bongi Manambi controlling things to the back. And in a year's time, we could be seeing that ball going straight into the hands of Eben Etzebeth. The ball has, Bongi Manambi has gone down. The maul has gone down. And it's actually he's actually knocked it forward now. And the ball's actually emerged on the side of Ulster. Billy Bird's giving it away. McCluskey, no look past there. Little too Moore, he steps inside, gets tackled by Werner Koch and Lakanya It's a tackle. His knees are on the ground there, chaps. Werner Koch all over that ball, trying to sort of bring a sevens experience in there. Billy Burns is one straight through. He's still going against Billy Burns. He's around at Fassi. The question is, does Cooney have the pace? Is Fassi going to get there first? Fassi is going to get there first. It'll be a goal line dropout, though. But, I mean, that was so... I mean, you have to relook at this. How Billy Burns has just strolled through the Sharks' defense. I mean, he's between Dutoy and Khaleesi, and there's just so much. But I mean, he's not even sprinting. He comes to the right of Fassi, then puts the kick in. You're never going to be able to really win the pace battle against Fassi. Billy Burns is not slow, but he's not the quickest person either. But just looked so easy for him just strolling in there. Anyway, the restart from Curran Bosch is a good one, and Ian Henderson makes a good take out there under pressure from Maxwell Mapimpi. Puts Ulster back on the front foot, just outside the 22 on the right-hand side of the park. Cooney inside to O'Connor. Now Tom O'Toole on against his opposite number. Cooney to Billy Burns. Pretty flat there to Timonish. Trying to get the ball offload to Little. O'Connor gives it. That's a nice line being run there by Herring. And Bongi Manambi has gone down. I would call that... I mean, the ball's available there on the Sharks side, but they were told you can't touch it. Oh, it's a really good offload. Good break there. McCluskey through the middle. Gets away from one. Oh, that's a horrible attempt of a tackle from Apelele Fassi. That is pretty diabolical, actually. I mean, the initial line was good. I think he brushed with Werner Koch in the process as well, but that is a diabolical attempt of a tackle by Apelele Fassi. I mean, it's a good line there, run. No, that's really, really poor. It's Marius Lowe, doesn't make the initial tackle, but... So it's a good line between Henderson, good offload. Marius Lowe is desperately trying to get across there, but Apelefasi, I mean, he's basically just run into him and run off him. You've got to go low, and you actually got to put you got to put your body in the line here. He's the last defender. He's got to make a tackle there. He's so upright. I mean, he's hugging him. He's upright. Like, it was so easy for him just to be handed off. You've got to go low, and you've got to make the tackle. And the conversion is good. So this is what I said. I said you don't want to concede first, because all of a sudden it's 17 points to 0, and that's a... Yeah, you're not going to... Fassi's not going to want to watch that back in the morning. McCluskey deserves that, though. He's been very good tonight. But a penalty there from the Sharks off the restart for holding on. So opportunity for them to try and strike back. And I think you got to go for the points here. I mean, 17 points is a big deficit, but you haven't had any points on the board yet. So it's a good chase there by Mapimpi. Goes to the hands of Henderson. And so they're going to go for the line out. Not sure it's the right decision. Obviously, you know, I mean, with 17 points, you need to start scoring points. But the fact that you haven't... given the fact that they haven't been clinical enough, I think getting 3 points wouldn't have been the worst idea for them. But if they can get a 7-point here and just cancel out that try now, then that'll be a nice way to start the half. And Henderson has read that like a book and also turned over. That's why I said you should have gone for the 3 points. And I'm usually the last person that wants to go for the 3 points. Now, Kuhn, that's not a particularly good clearance pair, by the way. Balakunas has competed, and Mapimpi's come away with it on the 22. So the Sharks in possession opportunity here. Thomas Toy, another solid carry from him. Now Hendrickson to Bosch. Bosch pretty flat to Morris Lowe to Werner Koch. They're running the hands yet. Up in the fast to try and make amends. Solid tackle there by McElroy. And there was a knock on as well. Now there's a couple of afters between James Humer and Werner Koch. And Dave Muir acting a bit of a mediator there. A couple of peace talks. Jonathan Marbury says, poor defense for the Sharks. Hope they get a hiding if they want to kiss the players and tackle high. Obviously, this is embarrassing for the Sharks. They've shown nothing on defense. Justice Curran has Cock put on Butter. I don't know why they keep picking him. He used to be great. Dan Best says, the Sharks are becoming the new Stormers, full of international players are battling to get the results they should. Obviously, when will players actually start telling the ref that if they don't sort out the opposition, not putting the ball down, then we will sort them out. Right, scrum on the far left-hand side, just inside the 22. It will be an Ulster feed. The scrums have been pretty even so far. There was a scrum penalty against Ulster, but apart from that, there's been very little in it so far. And again, a pretty solid scrum. Nick Timoney jumping off the back of it, running into Siakalisi, makes the tackle there. Nakuri decides to go down the side, and Moore gets it inside to Rob Herring. Almost worked quite nicely there from Ulster. Still looking to try and run it is Ian Henderson, a little bit flat-footed. Doesn't make too many yards. Now Cooney's going to go to the boot. And Werner Koch underneath it. That's a pretty poor attempt from a tackle from him, but he's eventually brought down as Werner Koch. Now Hendrickson gives it to Bosch. Not too much on, he gives it to Morris Lowe. Morris Lowe looking for options, gives it a long pass out to Lakanya Ami, finds himself on the wing. He's brought down by Balakuna. He's very isolated. James Hume is all over that ball, but it is available for Jaden Hendrickson. He gives it to Pepsi Buthelezi, who lined up O'Connor. and ran into contact just inside the half now, going back towards the left-hand side here. Marius Lowe, a bit of show and go. Gives it away to Henko Fenter. Better continuity here from the Sharks. Now Oxenchair, we haven't seen too much from him in the form of ball carry today. Hendrickson going to Bosch. Bosch to Ruben van Heerden. He's been very active with the ball in hand. Up against Ian Henderson. Bosch now to Lowe. Lowe wrapping around to Bosch. Wasn't too much on. Bosch got himself almost managing to get through. Marcus Ray. What a turnover that is from Ulster and Marcus Ray. Oh my living. And McElroy has just skipped past a couple of people and put a kick in now. Here comes the chase. Little is chasing hard. But Pimpy's going to get there, but it's going to set up just in front of the try line. So can Little make the tackle? He does make the tackle, but there are a couple of Sharks players back, but they're under a lot of pressure. But that's a really good positional play. To just hack it downfield and once again just pin the Sharks back inside their own 22. Hendricks is now going to kick into touch and it'll be turnover ball for Ulster. So the game management was pretty impressive. And that's a horrific kick from Hendrickson. So in fact, they'll have a line on the 22. So in fact, it's going to be an attacking set piece now for Ulster. Pierre Britt says, Sharks can never be compared to the Stormers. You are not and won't be the new Stormers. Sharks need a new coach next season, says Aviator. And I'll be saying this is the same Sharks team that has the most boxing it. What a joke. I just don't understand what's happened. I just don't understand why it's not working for them. You know, a lot of people say that they need a new coach. And, you know, you look at the performances and you think that, I mean, that's the only thing that can change, isn't it? You've gotten all the players. This team should be playing a lot better. They're just not. There's just something inherently wrong within this side that's preventing them from taking that big step forward. That's a pretty sloppy line-out, though. Werner Koch trying to clean up. Advantage knock on for the Sharks as well. Hence to go into the boot. And that's a much better touch finder. You'll find touch by the halfway line. Mimir says Sharks are staring a Porky in the face. Musabar says Sharks piss poor, let it go already, making too much used of overpriced hired soldiers. Yeah, well, I struggle to have sympathy because they're busy ransacking the Lions, so that's what you get. I mean, they're still... Who is the Sharks coach? It is Sean Everett. What will be interesting to see is if they do get a new coach, who are they going to get? So as it stands, Ulster will go on to 59 points, which would mean the Sharks on points difference would shift down to 4th, and the Stormers will be down at 5th. But the Stormers play Scarlets tomorrow, so the Stormers were to win or at least get a bonus point tomorrow, then they would come into 4th. The Bulls, however, I think are winning quite comfortably against Ospreys last time I saw a tweet about it, 12-0. So they're probably also going to be looking to move into the top 4. But anyway, Apollo Fassi off the back of the kickoff. Up by the 10 meter now. Hendricks is just taking a while to get to that rack now. Good kick there. My Pimpy's going to chase hard, but Akuna is in the inside and he throws it to Ruben van Heerden. I think he's actually won them a line out, hasn't he? Did not come off a Sharks player? No. Sharks taking it quickly, by the way, if the cameraman wants to catch up. And Apollo Fassi is brought down. Sharks up to the 10 meter line. Oxen chairs are sort of carried by him. You need to see more of that. Bongi Manambi. Now, there's a bit of ferocity we haven't seen all evening. Hendrickson now going short to Fassi. Fassi drops his shoulder and just takes the contact. Now, Hendricks is complaining. The ball's right there, mate. Just use it. Now, Thomas Latoya. Another carry on him. Long pass out to Bosch. Bosch gives a pretty flat to Oxen Chair. Good tackle there by Nick Timoney. Hendrickson looking for options. Still looking for options. Goes himself. I think if Fenton now comes and picks up and goes. Almost finds a half gap. Brought down by Herring. Offload goes away to Khaleesi. Khaleesi gives away to Pimpy, who if he had offloaded to Fassi, he could have actually had a bit of a run in there. This is the second time where a potential try scoring opportunity has been robbed by just holding on to the ball. Oxen Chair. They need to use Oxen Chair more as a ball carrier. I'm having a pace here. Now the Ulster defense being tested. Dave Mullen just sort of hovering in the back there, waiting for an opportunity to get his hands on the breakdown. Still available for the Sharks, so keeping it very short. Couple pick up and goes. Ingo Fenter, pick up and go. Dave Mullen still lurking around behind a couple of defenders. Pick up and go, yeah, from the Sharks. They're making a meet him up. Thomas Satoy has a go. Penalty advantage here for the Sharks as well. And there's just so many bodies in there. Offside is the call. Kanya gives it to Oxenchair. Good tackle there from Burns and McElroy, but no advantage. They're going to go back for the penalty, which I think is right by the poles. Number 5 is the call. It's against Ian Henderson, the captain. But it's pretty good defense there from Ulster. Sharks weren't making too much progress. Pierre Britt says Sharks giving away our home semi-final. Sharks need to be in fourth more than it's decided they have the best chance of actually using it to their advantage. Honey says it's going to take many years before we get to Leinster or Munster or Ulster level. Lens bringing in Mick Mallard as coach. Not true at all, Honey says. Papa Rumble. Storm was already there. Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think with the Sharks, I think it's a season with the right coach, with the right setup, and I think they'll be in and around there as well. They've got too many good players not to be. Two new props on for Ulster. Nasinovic is on for O'Toole. And Eric O'Sullivan on for Andrew Warwick. Right, decision time here for the Sharks. I think they're going to go for the scrum. They're right on the right-hand side, right side pole. We've got 25 minutes remaining. Robert Connor says, and these guys are supposed to win us the World Cup. To be fair, I think two very different environments. I mean, for example, Sia Khaleesi a year ago, was not playing particularly well. Was coming back from injury, was not playing particularly well. Was not in his best form. Puts on a Springbok jersey and is named Player of the Year 6 months later. So yeah, I mean, it's funny how the right systems, the right environment, and the right sort of cause can lift players into a whole different level. But I just don't know what it is within the Sharks that's not getting them to click. Anyway, Kieran Treadwell's on for O'Connor. Albie says, so the SS side's got 2-week rest and the Sharks come back like this. An absolute joke. Bulls 12 points to 3 up against Ospreys there. Right, so I reckon we're going to see Pesi Buthelezi running off the back of the scrum here. Penalty advantage. Pesi Buthelezi does break. Timothy manages to snatch his angles and brings him down, but there is a penalty advantage for the Sharks. Quick ball from Hendrickson to Henko Fenter. Good defense there from Ulster. They've already lost a couple of meters here, have the Sharks, but Oxford trying to regain that. Oh, he pops it up to Pesi Buthelezi. He wasn't expecting it. So it'll have another penalty. Interesting to see if they go for another scrum. I think they got to go for the scrum. Yeah. You think Sharks can still win, or is it a little too late? I think if they score here, they've got a chance. But I think if they don't manage to capitalize on this, then suddenly it's 270 points. Obviously, it can still happen, but from a momentum point of view, I think that they need to find a bit of reward for their efforts. Right, can the Sharks conjure up something from the scrum? Yeah. Right, they're trying to get a penalty at best. Butalezi picks up and goes, but John Cooney is well positioned to make the tackle there. No penalty advantage this time. That's a big hit there on Ruben van Heerden as well. So the defense so far for Ulster has been very impressive. Hinker Fenter. Curran Bosch, Morris Lowe. Good tackle. And Dwayne Vermeulen is looking for that breakdown to try and get involved in. Now we're going back to a reverse angle. Bongi Manambi carrying it strong. Tackled well by his opposite number, Rob Herring. Hinker Fenter. Oh, Hinker Fenter slips one tackle. This is a horrible camera angle. Can we go back to the regular camera angle? This is a horrible camera angle. Werner Koch is brought down there. I mean, the Ulster defense so far has been really impressive in the last 20 minutes. It has to be said. Reniel Hugo now. Oxenshire. Hendrickson to Bosch to Nakanya Nakanya skipping inside. Runs into Erica Sullivan. Now it's Thomas to the tackle, but the Ulster defense is up really quickly. Rob Herring must have made at least about 4 or 5 tackles in the last 20 phases or so. Hinker Fenter on the side there. Another good tackle there from Ulster. Desperately trying to find a turnover. Sharks a bit of momentum now. Khaleesi on the angle. It's all very lateral so far for the Sharks. Discipline needed as well for Ulster. Fast trying to find out an opening. He doesn't though. Now Ruben van Heerden puts his head down. Dwayne Vermeulen makes a big hit there. Knocked forward is the call. What a passage of play there from Ulster. That is absolutely brilliant. I don't know why they're not counting the phases, but it must have been at least about 10 to 12 phases there. And relentless defense there from Ulster. I don't think they missed a tackle there. That is, yeah, that's just good defense. You know, you could probably maybe say that the Sharks weren't particularly inventive or creative there, but it has to be said the defense there was very impressive. And then Hendricks, not his first time, he's made a bit of a fumble on the ground, so frustrating as well. Well, here comes a couple of replacements. Grant Williams is going to come on. I think that's a good replacement because I don't think Hendricks has had the best of games. I think Grant Williams adds a bit of pace to it. Hiron Andrews is on to replace Reniel Hugo. Papa Rumble says Sharks have no chance pulling a win here. And Bianca says, to be fair, Italians haven't had the easiest time of late. Here comes into Tuko Mkunu. An exciting player in the loose because Oxenshire is down injured. It's probably what money can buy. I need to look at the Lions and Stormers are anything they'll win this weekend. Hey, don't talk up the Lions before we've played. Please don't. I need a nice parting gift from them tomorrow. So let's not put the mocks on them. Obviously, if I was coach, I would have put the whole bench on 20 minutes ago. Well, this is not particularly good for Oxenshire. He's limping off. But worrying as we're now entering sort of test match season. Obviously, still about 6 weeks to go until the Springboks play their first game. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 weeks exactly tomorrow before our first international game of the year. 2nd of July. That's a huge scrum from the Sharks, but Nick Timoney does emerge at the back, so good work there from us to be able to get that out nice and quickly. Darren says that the Sharks' first receiver just passed one more. There will be holes in the exploit. I'll start blitzing the first attacker. I think Sharks in general have been. Well, that's a pretty poor kick that's been knocked on. And it's a penalty for offside as well. So Sharks get an opportunity here. Yeah, really good work there by Thomas Tatoy. He read that really well. Saw the ball was out and put Con Cooney under a lot of pressure. The ball has gone. I think they took it quickly there. Ruben van Heerden now. Grant Williams will provide a lot of pace with his delivery here. And you can see he's just trying to up the ante a little bit. Another penalty advantage, I think. I think if there's another penalty, I think Ulster could be very much close to a card and losing a player here. And if I'm Thomas Tatoy, I would be in the ref's ear here saying, that's a lot of penalties now. Come now. But I think Grant Williams will add a lot of speed to the game. I think he's a very nice player. I like Grant Williams. I was really hoping the Lions were going to try and snap him up, because I think he's the perfect sort of player for that really sort of quick recycle and sort of upping the tempo. Oh, Ntsuko Nkuno is over. Try time. Well, that's something out of nothing. It's the impact he would have liked. Ntsuko Nkuno is on. And that's what he can do. Nchuno. Tap and go. Yeah, I mean, he's got Bongi Manambi in the back of him as well, which is always going to help. But just caught a little bit unawares there. And Eric O'Sullivan wasn't in a particularly good position. Really, really strong carry there. Yeah, I think caught a little bit unaware there. I don't think Eric O'Sullivan was aware to that threat. By the time he realised it, he had a very big prop on his way towards him with Bongi Manambi in the back of him. It's not easy to defend that. And they finally get a breakthrough with 18 minutes to go. Kern Bosch lining up a second kick of the match. No issues there from just off to the left. How many minutes left? Yeah, they're about just under 20 minutes left. You can see there on the tracker, there's 62 minutes left. Did anybody know that Kerwin's second name was Dominic? Kerwin Dominic Bosch. Who knew? You see, you learn something new every day. To be honest, the Sharks are too inconsistent for me. This result doesn't surprise me. This makes this raw grunt. And it's now Sharks need to put on the pressure like every Bok team needs to dig in. Well, restart there. Pepsi Buthelezi, well taken out the air. But they're outside the 22, so Grant Williams can't find touch with his first box kick of the day. McElroy gets a free go there, really, because there wasn't a great take. That's a huge tackle on him. I think it's Siak. No, it's not. I think it's could be the try scorer. Nkunu has actually made that tackle. Yeah, it is him. So he's come on to try and make an impact. Has the young prop. Eric O'Sullivan, the man who was guilty of not stopping him, now being driven back a bit. Burns to Familiar now, wrapped up by Pepsi Buthelezi. He'll enjoy that. Burns, it's a good... Oh, that's really done well now by Cooney. Cooney needs an inside ball. Inside. Oh, what a pass to Cooney. And Humes to the outside. That is so well played. Mapimpi has done it before, and he's been guilty of doing it again. He's come off his life. He's left a man outside. They've exploited it brilliantly. Now, that's well played. Balakoon on the outside. Inside to Cooney. And then Hume does really well to then go on the inside of him and create an option inside. But Mapimpi just nowhere there. Two on one. Good support play. Inside ball. And Hume just switches inside of Kern Bosch and says, thank you very much. We'll take a try. Well, there it is. The Sharks look like they could potentially be coming back, but yeah, I mean, you've got to look at Mapimpi. He's come off his line there and just left so much space on the outside. Not the first time he's done it today either, unfortunately. So I think defensive system needs to look at for the Sharks, because the amount of clean breaks. I'd love to see how many clean breaks there actually has been. Let me try and see if I can find that stat, because there's been a few. And I think that Ulster, when they've had the ball, have found it far too easy to get past the Sharks line. So just as the Sharks thought they might be able to claw themselves back, Ulster strike again, and Cooney is not a particularly difficult kick, and he does slot it, so it will be 24 points to 7. And all of a sudden, Ulster 1 try away from a bonus point. Dwayne Vermeulen is off, by the way. And Henko Fent is also off. He'll be replaced by Jean-de Labuschagne. Or Labuschagne, depending on where you're from. But we're from South Africa, so it's Labuschagne. Labuschaches. Henko Fent is a bit confused because he was called off and now nobody seems to be ready. And Mbonambi also going off. Here comes Siko Mozenoche. My boy. Well, it's well played by Sharks. They managed to regather the ball from kickoff, and they've won a penalty. It's the second time they've done it as well, you know. So, Ulster kickoff, I think, probably need to a bit of work there, I reckon. But I just want to look at the stats here. This is according to Ultimate Rugby. Yeah, 4 clean breaks apiece apparently, but 28 defenders beaten by Ulster, 24 by Sharks. Gain line carries more for the Sharks. I'm surprised at how few clean breaks. There's definitely been more than 4 clean breaks. Anyway, can the Sharks strike back once again? They go towards the back, and it's a horrible line out, and they've butchered that. Thankfully, it wasn't straight. I was about to say, it looked like they almost get away with it because Rob Herring had knocked it on, but it is not straight. So, Kieran van Vuren's first, that's a horrible line. I was about to say, I thought that Siko Mozenoche got, and then they just dropped him, the poor lad, as well. Where they're at, Bousbas, Vanessa Bildy, all that pressure will leave now. Honey says, well, man, our team's extremely shocking. We needed Bartman in the change room at half time. Sharks need to take all the money and buy a new coach, says Mr. Obo. Just take Bosch off already. The home ground advantage is just too big for both SA and European sides. Or remain Intermac. I'll accept either. She's like it. I'm glad I don't support the Sharks, says Papa Ramble. Half-time Bulls. So there's the score there for people that watch it. Although I think some people are watching the game later. I'm just going to turn it on as soon as I'm finished up here. Anyway, so it is an Ulster scrum. There is just over 12 minutes remaining. Nick Timoney once again breaking off the back of the scrum there. Henderson, it's a pretty hard line he's run there. Now Cooney looking to clear it. And he will find touch by the halfway line. That's the perfect clearance there from John Cooney. It's been really good game management at times here from Ulster. He just smashed the like button, by the way. We're 7 likes away from 50 likes. So, yeah, let's try and smash past those 50 likes. And, yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming back out here. We'll be live for both games tomorrow. The Sharks game. The Lions game as well as the Stormers game. Kick over the top from Grant Williams is well read. Not sure it was the right option there from the scrum off. And Ulster just hacked that ball downfield for Curran, Bosch, and Maxwell Mapimpi to chase. And Bosch will return the favour. Going down the left-hand side. McElroy was well placed, though. Looking to run, though. Almost wrapped up by Thomas Tatoy. He runs it to the halfway line. Does find a bit of support from his forwards. Now I'm sure they'll look to just keep ball in hand here. Nick Timoney, it's a very good tackle there from, I think it's Pepsi Buthelezi. Pretty poor pass there. Dab over the top there from, I think, and Hume has hacked the ball forward. for little, although Vernicock has made a dive for it. Hume now there to try and clean things up as Fussy makes a tackle, but Ulster all of a sudden inside Sharks territory. Noche has turned that ball over, though. Very well played there by the number 8, who needs to come to the lines. Now, chip over the top there. He's just gifted position back to Ulster, so it's just a bit of a strange tactic. Now, Macro, what's he going to do? He wants to try and keep ball in hand. He does get wrapped up by Grant Williams, but Ulster have kept possession, which is probably the main thing. Now, Billy Burns is still a little dab through the middle. Kevin from Furin is retreating. And the Ulster players just weren't really following his line, so he managed to turn around and burst through, make a couple of yards. Grant Williams, Thomas Atoy, a bit of a feign before he comes towards the right. Couple of players on the outside. Gemma Pimpy, Balakoon can't get him an inside ball. Support there from Sigurd Noche. He's brought down. And that's a really, really good penalty. That's an incredibly important penalty won by not by Matthew Rea. The support play from Sigurd Noche was really impressive to get there, but there was just no support. As soon as he went down, Matthew Rea had free go. Inside ball there towards Noche. He's desperately looking for an offload, and the player just arriving far too late. Marius Lowe was looking for wanted the offload and just ran straight past him. Yeah, I think it's pretty lazy from Marius Lowe. You got to try and just recycle that ball there. Didn't even have it going into the ruck. It would have been very difficult for Noche to try and get that ball off from up in the ground. Not particularly good clear and kick there from Billy Bird. She's gone down and doing a bit of stretching. And how is Rob Herring still on? John Andrew still not on. Here comes Kutam Kunu. It's Thomas Satori going off in the 72nd minute. I don't think we're going to see that in a season's time. I think with the arrival of Carly Sardi, I reckon you'll see that substitution a bit earlier. We're also 8 people away from 10,600 subscribers. So please, I'm sure there are right now 8 people who are not subscribed to the channel. So, yeah, how about we just do that, and then we can continue having some fun here. And now Ulster just creeping forward from the maul. John Cooney now asking for the ball. He's going to put a ball to the boot as well. So Balakoon is going to chase. A Pimpy underneath it, takes it well, gets away from one. And Balakoon comes inside and makes the tackle. Grant Williams, quick ball to Cohen Bosch. Pretty poor pass there from Bosch. Not a particularly good game. Again, I don't know how Butch Chambers not on yet. Werner Koch trying to do it all himself on the right-hand side there. Brought down. Grant Williams gives it to Kutum Kunu. It was a little bit... it wasn't the best pass. Not much on Nakanya now giving away to Hiron Andrews. They're just out of ideas, aren't they? There's just no creativity. There's no structure or point of attack here for the Sharks. And Ian Henderson is trying to turn that ball over on the ground. Williams going to Bosch. Bosch going to Khaleesi. Oh, that's a very good carry from Khaleesi. He's trying to find an offload as well. Couldn't find a basically lazy. Quick ball from Grant Williams. Kieran from Fury gives it to Bosch. Gives it to Tukum Kunu, the try scorer. That's a bit better, a bit more direct. Kieran Bosch, Lakanya that's a half pass that Werner Koch has done very well to manage to hold on to. Oh my goodness. And Kutan Kuna once again smashed in the tackle. Was just there stationary with the ball in hand. And that's a really good line there. So it's a dummy ran by Skibozinoche, which allows Akanya to get through a few players. Now Cohen Bosch giving it away to Marius Lowe. Marius Lowe to Pesi Buthelezi. Gives it away to Fast. So they've got the numbers once again. So Khaleesi decides to come inside. Almost a bit of space opening up for him. Trying to find that chicken wing pass. But he opts to keep it in hand. Gives to Marius Lowe. He bats away for Robert Balakoon. Can't get his offload away. And then it comes off a Pimpy and runs out. And that kind of just sums up the day, doesn't it? It's just not happened at all from the Sharks. So now I'm seeing a lot of things on Twitter that a lot of people having a go at the referee. I don't think he's had the best day. But if we're being brutally honest, I don't think the referee is the reason the Sharks have lost this tonight. And I get quite bored of it becoming too. It becomes too easy to blame the referee. I don't know. What do we think? As I said, I don't think that. Yeah, as I said, I don't think the referee's had a brilliant game. I think he's missed quite a few things, but the Sharks have been really poor tonight. Anyway, Ulster to the front of the lineout. Having said that, though, I mean, Ulster did concede about. Have conceded more penalties as half. I reckon definitely more penalties this half than the Sharks have. In fact, I'll be interested to see what the penalty count is. Yeah, they have conceded more penalties. Kick from McCooney at the top there. We'll find touch. According to Ultimate Rugby, there have been 7 penalties apiece. 7 of them Ulsters have been in their own half, 3 for Sharks in their own half, 4 for the opposite half. I'm sure that Rugby Pass will probably have different stats as well, so you never really know, do you? But yeah, it's just been a really bad performance from the Sharks. I think that their defense has not been up to scratch. There've been far too many holes in it, and they've just looked unimaginative on the attack. They just Grant Williams now. You see now there, where's that been missing? Grant Williams to the middle to Marius Lowe. A bit of magic. Grant Williams with a bit of magic towards the end. That's a really nice try, and it all comes from Grant Williams. They go off the top to Hiron Andrews. Siaklis at scrum off, gives it to Grant Williams. Oh, a little dummy inside. He gets in between 2 forwards. Then the sport line for Marius Lowe. Marius Lowe goes over, but it's all done by Grant Williams. Bit of pace, bit of tempo. It'll mean nothing in the end, but a bit of a consolation there. Buddha Chamberlain's on, by the way. His only involvement will probably be to kick this penalty. Now, the Sharks can get another try. They can get a bonus point. The ref saying just the 10 points between them, but there's only 4 minutes left here, guys. I don't think the Sharks are staging a comeback here. Right, so off the back of the line up there from Ulster. 2.5 minutes to go. Ulster trying to hit back, and to be fair, Ulster not playing for bonus point try. Rush defense there from Sigboz and Notcher did well there to make sure that McCloskey had no options. Treadwell. Billy Birdsman. Pimpy's up quite quickly once again. This time, not too many options there for Rare. Yeah, not too much go for a ball yet from Ulster. Needed something a bit special. Less than 2 minutes to go. Can Ulster find that bonus point try? Burns pretty flat for Ray. It's a bit better for him, Ulster. Now Stuart Moore decides to put it onto the boot. Oh, what a kick that is. Oh, that is sensational. He hacks it along the ground and it just deviates towards the left before it gets to the corner flag. And he's put Sharks back on a 5-meter line. Now, that's perfect. That's brilliant game management. Just nothing on. Bang. Thank you very much. Look at the curve there as well. That's perfect. Well, look long and hard, Carly Sardi and Vince Tutuka. This is the team you are joining. Are you happy now? I mean, they are happy because their bank balance is going to be significantly better. But is this really what you want? You sold your souls for a losing side. Poor form. Poor form. If we can get Notcher there, I'll be a bit chuffed with life. It's a nice little dab at the top from Williams to Morris Lowe. And it's the Williams combination. Now, Williams, how much pace has he got? He's got a lot of pace, I'll tell you that much. He's got a lot of pace. He's got all the pace. Grant Williams has gone over. Sharks are going to get a losing bonus point. Well, Grant Williams, what an impact he's had. A little tip over the top from him. It's the Marius Lowe, Grant Williams combination. Marius Lowe this time to Grant Williams. And the tired legs of McElroy can't reel him in. I mean, he's got so much pace as Grant Williams. They're just checking potential offside. But if not, that's really good work from Grant Williams. Really good pace from him. Well, there's suddenly 3 points in it. And this is a very flattering score for the Sharks because they definitely don't deserve to be 3 points behind Ulster. All of a sudden, a penalty draws this, and a try would win it. And it would be an absolute burglar if they did do it. But Grant Williams take a bow because he single-handedly turned this game around for the Sharks. Going deep there from the restart. Right, so if they are to do anything, it has to be in this move. Can't afford to make any mistakes here. Makanya Amu leaving the safety of the other 22. They've got to go one side to the other if they are to try and get anything from this game. They will get a losing bonus point. I think Ulster will be frustrated because they've been all over the Sharks and then have just switched off for the last 10 minutes and can see 2 very soft tries. Ruben van Heerden still carrying strong. And it's been turned over. Nathan Doak has hacked it outside, so it was almost an interesting comeback there from the Sharks, but yeah, the better team on the night does win. Ulster 24, Sharks 21. It's a flattering scoreline for a team that didn't play particularly well. Grant Williams take a bow because he was the difference. He came on, and all of a sudden the Sharks looked like a bit of a different side. And just 2 moments of magic from him really were the difference to enough to give them a losing bonus point. So the Sharks will finish with 57 points on the log. Now, in terms of what that means, they will currently sit in second place. However, Munster play Leinster tomorrow. Stormers play Scarlets tomorrow. So Ulster right now on 59. So Sharks will be on third place. So it'll be Leinster, Ulster, Sharks, Munster. But Munster still to play, Stormers still to play. So yeah, it'll all happen depending on what the results are tomorrow. But full time over in Ireland. It's a 3-point game. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. We'll be live tomorrow for Lions versus Dragons, as well as Stormers versus Scarlets. So we'll see you guys then. Please do smash like on the video. We are 6 people short of hitting 10,600, so please do go and subscribe on the way out, and we'll see you guys all next time. Thank you very much, and chat to you soon.